Hi, Sarah here from Coaching Revolution. I don't know if you've seen any of the videos that I've made over the past few days, but they were instigated by an American coach called Tom, who felt, or said he felt, really fried was the expression that he used, from all of the copy that he's writing and the backstories and the web copy sales funnel, this, that, and the other, all of this stuff that he's writing. He says he's been a coach for 5 years, and that he's been, I think reading between the lines, he's been doing associate work and he hasn't been getting his own clients because he's just felt overwhelmed by what he has to do. So I made a video the other day saying that you can't write the copy until you know who your ideal client is, who your perfect client is. Once you know who they are, that's the first piece of work. That's the beginning of your marketing exercise, because once you know who they are, you know what they need to hear, you know where they are, you know what price point you need to be pitched at. Everything comes from this ideal client. And I shared the video with Tom in a message. And he did an interesting thing. He hopped into the group where I'd found him and he said, I'm a leadership coach. I coach leaders. What keeps leaders awake at 3 o'clock in the morning? Now, what he'd done there is he'd taken, I was talking about ideal clients and how when you identify the problem that you can solve for your potential client, and you identify it really clearly, and the thing that you're looking for is the thing that keeps them awake at 3 o'clock in the morning. And so he'd taken this and thought about it and gone and said, can anybody help me? What keeps leaders awake at 3 o'clock in the morning? And there are all kinds of reasons why that's not going to work. Number one, leader isn't an ideal client. It's a job title and it means so many different things to so many different people. You know, are you a leader like a political leader? Are you a leader of a business? Are you an employed manager who has teams that you lead? Are you the CEO? Are you a leader of an enormous multi-million-pound business? Are you the leader of your own business that has maybe 10 employees? Are you the leader of a school? Are you a leader of a voluntary organization? There are so many different kinds of leaders that saying what keeps a leader awake at 3 o'clock in the morning is like saying, what keeps Europeans awake at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's a meaningless question. The answer is always, to that question, it depends. So what does it depend on? Why is Tom asking the wrong question in asking that? Well, the reason that he is that individual people who happen to be a leader could well be his ideal client. Somebody who, for example, let's say is a local political leader, maybe if we use the UK, I'm based in the UK, maybe an MP who's leading a team of volunteers plus paid staff, as well as looking after his constituencies, within his constituency or her constituency. What keeps them awake at night, the thing that worries them, is going to be hugely different from a business leader who perhaps has an organisation that employs 50 people and has a 20 to 50 million pound turnover. And, the thing that keeps him awake at night or her awake at night could be widely different depending on the kind of leader that they are. It may be that they've got a massive turnover of staff, and they just can't keep their staff. It may be that their costs are getting carried away and they need to kind of sort out their costs and their cash flow. It could be that they're ready to kind of make the next big investment to up their game. The answer is it depends. And so trying to figure out what keeps a leader awake at 3 o'clock in the morning is a futile effort. And the other thing is, you can't ask other people what keeps them awake at 3 o'clock in the morning. Your knowledge of your ideal client comes from within you. It comes from a combination of your knowledge and your experience and your career to date in some cases. And so trying to answer the questions, and it's quite a big it's a big piece of work, the ideal client, but trying to get other people to answer those questions for you will never give you the material that you need to then be able to write your marketing message. And until you've got your marketing message, and the marketing message is, what does that kind of person need to hear to understand why they could do with some coaching? And spoiler, you don't mention coaching, and that they need to work with me in particular. And all of that's perfectly possible once you've got your ideal client defined. When you've got that marketing message written, then you can write the copy, and it will be copy that actually converts, rather than copy that people read and you've put all of this time and effort, years in some cases, and you've wasted your time. So, Tom, the question isn't what keeps a leader awake at 3 a.m. The question is, who is your client and what kind of leader is he or she?